Sumerian-Elamite Wars, a series of complex conflicts that started around 2600 BC and lasted for centuries, took place in the fertile lands of Mesopotamia, in present-day Iraq and Iran. These wars are considered among the earliest organized conflicts known, and it is during this period that Elam is first mentioned in written records. Parties and geography. Sumerians, located in southern Mesopotamia in modern-day Iraq, the Sumerians were comprised of numerous city-states, such as Uruk, Lagash, and Kish. Considered the cradle of civilization, the Sumerians developed cuneiform writing, the wheel, and irrigation systems. Elamites, residing in southwestern Iran, at the foothills of the Zagros Mountains, and along the Persian Gulf Coast, the Elamites had important centers like Susa and Anshan. While the Elamite language is considered isolated, Elamite culture was influenced by Mesopotamia and adopted the Sumerian Akkadian cuneiform script. Elam's geographical position provided a significant advantage over trade routes between Mesopotamia and the East. Causes of the wars. Several factors underpin the conflicts between the Sumerians and Elamites. Economic and commercial rivalry. Elam's position on crucial trade routes led to economic competition with Sumerian city-states. Control over trade routes and access to natural resources, especially water sources and minerals, was a primary cause of conflict. Territorial disputes. The fertile Mesopotamian lands and border regions constantly caused disagreements between the two civilizations. Struggle for political supremacy. The desire to gain regional hegemony was a significant motivation for both sides. Internal conflicts among Sumerian city-states. For instance, the wars between Umma and Lagash over water resources created opportunities for Elam to intervene. Plunder and booty. The wars also aimed at acquiring loot and seizing wealth. Course of the wars and key events. The Sumerian-Elamite Wars were not a single major conflict, but rather a series of processes spanning centuries, involving different kingdoms and city-states at various times. Early conflicts, around 2600 BC, the earliest written sources mentioning Elam describe initial military clashes between the Sumerians and Elamites. Though details are limited, these texts indicate Elam's existence. Period and Elamite pressure. Significant conflicts with the Elamites occurred during the rise of the Sumerian city of Around 2280 BC, the Elamite king Cuju-Nahant plundered the important Sumerian center of ending Sumerian dominance. He even took the statue of the Sumerian goddess Nanna as booty to Elam. This event was a major devastation for the Sumerians, and the region remained under Elamite rule for about 60 years. Sumerian resurgence and Elamite intervention. Following the Elamite pressure, the Sumerians tried to re-establish a dynasty around 2239 BC. However, the Elamite king Rimsin decisively ended Sumerian unity in 2115 BC. This marked a crucial turning point in the Sumerians' withdrawal from the historical stage. Babylonian period. With the rise of the Babylonian Empire in Mesopotamia, after the fall of the Sumerians, Elamite-Babylonian relations also became significant. Elamite kings, particularly during the Shutrukid dynasty in the 12th century BC, launched major campaigns against Babylon, achieving important victories. Even the famous Hammurabi's Code inscriptions from Babylon were brought to Elam during this period. Consequences of the wars. The Sumerian-Elamite Wars left deep marks on the history of both civilizations. weakening and end of Sumerian civilization. Constant Elamite attacks and invasions weakened the power of the Sumerian city-states and ultimately led to the Sumerian civilization's withdrawal from the historical stage. Although Sumerian culture and language persisted, their political independence ended. Rise and strengthening of Elam. The wars enabled Elam to rise as a regional power. They gained significant spoils and increased their political influence, especially by exploiting the weakness in Mesopotamia. Cultural interaction. Despite the wars, there was also intense cultural interaction between Sumer and Elam. The Elamites adopted the Sumerian Akkadian cuneiform script, and Mesopotamian culture had a significant impact on Elam. Regional balance of power. These wars constantly shifted the regional balance of power in Mesopotamia and its surroundings, paving the way for the rise of later empires like Babylon and Assyria. The Sumerian-Elamite wars were more than just military conflicts. They played a crucial role in the political and cultural development of the ancient Near East. These wars present a complex picture of power struggles, resource conflicts, and cultural interactions.